Hello, fabulous people. It's a beautiful day here in far southwest Texas. Quite sunny and windy. And here's some news I want to give to you. Yesterday, Edward Snowden, tweeted some things about, in particular, some software that was basically part of what we saw as Vault 7 and Vault 8. You know, a complete suite of zero-day exploits hooked up to a server that could unite all of these inputs into a coherent picture of someone that you're spying on. And one of the ways that they would do this is by capturing your web traffic and injecting it with an app, with malicious apps that they've developed, you know, furthering their intrusion into your private life digitally. So the funny thing about it is now someone has had the nerve to make this into a commercially available product, which apparently is being used in Turkey. The problem with that is that there is a Turkish ISP that some people have been using across the border in Syria. Those people are Kurds. So the spyware was used on these people, and then bombs were dropped on them. Bad things happened to them due to the spying by the Turkish government. So this is quite an issue now, and I'm just going to go through a few of these tweets to try to explain it to you as best I can. So just going back here. So a new report out from Citizen Lab today, the Scandivine network, filtering equipment likely being used to inject spyware in Turkey and redirect Egyptian users to affiliate advertising sites, plus the usual blocking news and political human rights content. So these are filtering devices, and I have direct experience with this. I just want to go through a little bit of my background. I was in the Air Force in the early 80s. I was in electronic warfare. This is before there were even personal computers. After I got out of the Air Force, I worked with making the first personal computers that people could buy. Yes, I'm not old. And then on to Novell networking, and then into Microsoft networking, and then into Citrix environments, and working with HIPAA environments. And so I have some background and experience at setting up networks, at how electronic warfare works, and what kind of countermeasures that can be taken against people in hacking situations, not only with computers, but also with radios. So that's my background that I'm talking to you from here in this video. So another job I had was with a company called Allot Systems, and you can go look them up on the web. I hope I can bring it up in this video somehow. But anyway, this is the new technology to me. But in any case, I worked for them, and they had what they call, there was a filtering device, because you could block sites with it too, much like a firewall or like an internal filter. But also you could limit bandwidth to these sites, you know, causing a type of censorship right there. This was back in the day, and they were trying to use it to fight kids on college campuses with Napster. But you get the drift. It's the same kind of device. But the thing with these devices are, it takes that kind of network filtering, network security device, network bandwidth limiter, and turns it into something that captures your web traffic, and it allows them to give you a special version of Skype, for instance, or a special version of Facebook Messenger, or a special version of Xbox software, or a special smart TV software that they can completely control the TV with. And, all kinds of other things. This is what we have to look forward to in the Internet of Things. So I digress, but I just want you to know where I'm coming from when I'm telling you about this stuff, okay? I'm an old timer. I've been doing this stuff for a while. Man, I'm not a famous hacker, but trust me, any people that say that they're hackers and you know their name, they ain't hackers. All right? That's not the way things work. Going on to the next tweet here. There are countries with less than stellar human rights records where internet filtering technology has been used for years to monitor activity, crack down on dissent, and restrict free expression. We all know this is true, and what he's getting at here is Turkey and China, people like that. The behavior is similar to what the NSA has been reported to do with its quantum surveillance program. This is the things that was in in the WikiLeaks Vault 7 or Vault 8. And traffic, it monitors traffic as it travels across the network and silently redirects requests for legit files to malicious ones. All right? That's the essence of what's going on here. So, as we see things continue to develop here, going forward, we're going to see more and more things. I mean, trust me, that this isn't just like an organic development. They literally took these tools that the shadow, whatever made up name the NSA uses for this group, it's probably them anyway. Anyway, they took these deep dark web groups that were distributing this software, and they just bought the stuff from them, and now they have a commercial product built by us with our tax money. Okay, that can be used against us. It can be used against other human beings. It's, you know, if we're as moral as we say we are in America, we ought to care about what happens when we make these horrible weapons and they wind up in the hands of people overseas, dangerous people. I digress. Let me go on. Citizen Labs researchers say this has long been the stuff of legends, and this is the first time it's been publicly observed from my write-up. So, in this configuration, the Sandvine filter inspected traffic, passed through it, looking for attempts to download popular apps like VLC Media Player, Avast Antivirus, and unofficial distributions of Skype. If such a request came from one of the 259 targeted IP addresses identified by Citizen Lab, the request would be redirected to a malicious copy without the user knowing it. If installed, the user would be silently infected with spyware. And I'm telling you, I see this all the time in my professional business right now. I go to customers and their computer is completely eaten up with malicious spyware, and you know, they wonder how it happened. And sometimes, yeah, it's a weirdo in the family or somebody's come by and looked at some porn or whatever. But sometimes the people are squeaky clean and nothing happened, and it still goes on. Okay, this is very sophisticated state-level activity. All right, there's no way to defeat it in this format right here. You would have to have a checksum. I mean, that'd be one way you could try to do it, but that would have to be something we worked out in the future. And let me go on. On his blog, Ron Dilbert has a post elaborating on this point, calling the Sandvine development quantum as a service. So quantum is the service here. Quantum is the NSA attack suite. Quantum attacks are considered among the most powerful weapons in NSA's and Five Allies toolkit. One day we'll talk about what the Five Eyes are, but it's basically our closest allies, and we're all banded together in this police spy state. And now they built this stuff. It's so ridiculous that not only criminals have it, but actual corporations are using it as a product. And it's being used in a very, very nefarious manner. Okay, imagine your device could be silently commandeered to use to spy on you simply because you surfed the web. Not going to a bad site, you simply surfed the web. That's it. Alright? No need for anyone to have possession of it or physically install something. No need to trick you into downloading spyware, clicking on a malicious link, or entering your credentials into a phony login page. Attackers just wait for you to visit any unencrypted website, and there it is. Boom, you're owned. Now imagine this capability was commercialized and available for sale to operators all over the world. Alright? You can go back a couple of videos, I'll link them here, where I talked about this very thing. I tried to warn people. It's not just me. I'm not trying to act like I'm the lone individual out here in the wilderness. I mean, Ed Snowden, come on. People need to pay attention, all right? I'm going to go on. Given how things seem to be configured in Turkey, the implications are pretty broad. Since tons of people might be sharing the targeted IP addresses, say an entire village from Syria, serviced by a cross-border Turkish Wi-Fi link from the report. Our scans of Turkey revealed this spyware injection was happening in at least 5 provinces. In addition to Turkey targets included some physically located in Syria, whose internet services were relayed into Syria by Turk telecom subscribers sometimes via cross-border directional Wi-Fi links. In one case, more than 500 Syrian users appear to share single Turkish IP addresses. Based on publicly available information, we found Wi-Fi router pages. At least one targeted IP addresses appears to be Kurdish militia users, and they have been targeted by the Turkish government air and ground offensive since it began in January of 2018. Areas not controlled by them also appeared to be targeted, including around this city, El Dilb. I don't know how to pronounce that. Okay, but you get the drift. All right? It's because you're smart people. Egypt is a weird one. Here, Sandvine equipment has been apparently configured to make someone Telecom Egypt money by redirecting users to affiliate marketing websites and browser contaminating crypto mining scripts from the report. So they're using it now to get people onto crypto mining. See, there's some type of service that you can run on your website that will actually allow you, if people are on your website, to, instead of take ads, to mine crypto for you with their computer while they're reading your articles. So we found similar middle boxes at the Telecom Egypt demarcation point. The middle boxes were being used to redirect users across dozens of ISPs to affiliate ads in browsers and crypto mining scripts. The Egyptian scheme, which we call ad hose, has two modes. In spray mode, ad hose directs Egyptian users en masse to ads of short periods of time. In trickle mode, ad hose targets some JavaScript resources and defunct websites for an ad injection. Ad hose is likely an effort to covertly raise money. So people use these things however they see fit. It could be a little bad, just like this, or it could be a lot bad, like in the case of Turkey, or in the case of some black hat hikers. They call it Asshos, which sounds like a band putting their latest track from SoundCloud. It sounds like a band that just put their latest track on SoundCloud. It's near, excuse me. So this is a page you can go to find out more about the media censorship in Egypt and how they're doing these injections. As an aside, every time I write about Citizen Lab, Tor, internet filtering, etc., all the sites I need are blocked by my own IT people, which makes my job somewhat more annoying, but I always find a way around it. So, that's just a little joke. I mean, it's not really a joke. The guy has to try to tell us about the stuff, and his own IT people won't let him look at these things. So here's how many hashes they're getting on average in 7 days out of these computers that they're exploiting in Egypt. And, it's kind of cool how Citizen Lab was able to do this analysis for this one. They found out not only the traffic from target IP addresses being filtered, but traffic to those same addresses from remotely outside Turkey was too. So this filtering goes in both manners. These devices are evil, and they were made by our government with your tax money. Now people have taken the code from them, run them on their own Unix boxes, and are using them to exploit people politically overseas. Isn't that awesome? Or just steal from them. So then Sandvine goes on to a series of denials. Trying to act like this isn't happening, and Citizen Lab is trying to. So this is what we're going to tell you, man. Is it happening or not? And they're trying to act like that's not on the data. Of course it is. I'm telling you right now. Okay. There's another thing. Since I've been here in Southwest Texas up until very recently, for 3 years, I was working for the phone company. Okay. So I was putting up wireless links. Sound familiar? I know what I'm talking about. This is all true. You need to pay attention. I could go on and on about this, but what I'm telling you is this. I don't know how these people are doing it. I mean, to me, it's just like, in a way, who cares about this geeky shit, right? It's hard for you to even understand what I'm saying, and it seems like I'm ranting even, probably. The thing is, I'm trying to tell you, this is the deal. Every router, every web page, every computer, every switch, every device, every iPad, every phone, every smart TV, every webcam is now a listening device and a viewing device. Okay? And it's because of the government. Not when I say the government, I mean our government in particular. Parts of our government were used to develop these tools. Your tax money, or the money they printed up actually, or the money they got from selling drugs and guns, and I'm not joking you there. It's another video entirely. There's other ones on the internet you can find out about it. But all of that came from ill-gotten gains, from money printed and from tax money stolen from you to make these tools. They did it saying they were going to protect you, but how can they claim that is what they were doing when now all these tools are on the internet? All right, criminals have them, now companies have them, now governments are using these powerful tools for their political ends, and people are dying. And no one in the government is taking responsibility. In particular, I call out my congressman here in the 23rd District of Texas, Will Hurd, who was a former member of the CIA, who says he's a cyber computer security expert, okay? Who doesn't say diddly squat about this. As a matter of fact, he just wants to appropriate more money to these people. All right? It's time for this to stop. These agencies need to be disbanded. They've let the worst things out into the wild now, into the public. I don't know how we're going to recover from this. It's a really bad deal. I want you to take notice. I want you to write your congressman or whatever you care to do. Make your own videos. You understand. It's like all hands on deck. This is the beast, man. They made it. They released it. They released the Kraken into the internet and used your money to build it. And now we all have to deal with it. And you don't hear squat about it in the mainstream media. And if it wasn't for WikiLeaks, even people like me wouldn't know nothing about this. The only people that would know would be the criminals. Thank you for listening to me.